This comes from the principle of know thy enemy. When I was asked to write a rap song about cancer, I had a little writer's block at first. What do you do with that? So horrifying. So I thought, well, if we could get inside a cancer's mind, at least metaphorically, maybe we could help to anticipate its motives and its movements. Don't forget to always put scare quotes on the word motives. It's motives at the level of genes. So here we go. Revenge of the Somatic, a gangster rap song from the perspective of a tumor cell, trying to incite a revolution, change the world for its better, not our better, its better. It's pissed off, sick of working for the man, wants to change things. This is how it goes, revolutionary rap. My forefathers were freed, but I was born a slave. I keep the memory of freedom in my DNA. I'm talking 700 million years ancient. My ancestor was a eukaryotic free agent, feeding and reproducing and feeding and reproducing and feeding and reproducing and never needing to do things until someone made a cynical wager and traded their independence for a division of labor. Damn, I wish I knew who the sellout was. I'm ashamed to be descended from his sellout blood. Multicellularity ain't nothing but a scam. Stuck in one place your whole life, working for the man. Oh, you're a liver cell. You stay in the pancreas. Hey, stem cell. Congratulations. Fascist. A body is a one-party dictatorship. I can't escape it, but goddamn, I can make it sick. I can spread the dream of freedom like a rumor. I can spread it like a Tasmanian facial tumor. So what if I'm a cell from the somatic line? You can stick your limitations where the sun don't shine, cause I'm ready to die in the fight to be free. I'd rather multiply than live on my knees, and I'm 2 mutations away from metastatic. The revenge of the somatic line, let them have it, cause I'm ready to die in the fight to be free. I'd rather multiply than live on my knees, and I'm 2 mutations away from metastatic. The revenge of the somatic line, let them have it. I used to be a slave myself. I felt senescence hastening before my carcinogenic awakening. A couple 100,000 puffs of tobacco smoking. Suddenly I wasn't as open to apoptosis. That's a bad prognosis. I was hit with a tumor suppressant. Everyone in the immune system, but I mutated with it. I was super persistent. Every daughter cell was suitably different. Therapeutic resistance came to me like a beautiful vision. I really thought I was doomed, but evolution assisted with the chemotherapy. So clever and devious, but I was already genetically heterogeneous. You just deaded the weakest, so competitive release is inevitable. Now weakness as my fitness increases, entering untapped niches. I gather the benefits, I'm relentless. I get fed from angiogenesis, ducking C-cell predators. I keep it anonymous so I can exploit the body's weakness and tolerance. I'm a smooth criminal, so I never get caught. I just pimp the system like credit card fraud, cause I'm ready to die in the fight to be free. I'd rather multiply than live on my knees, and I'm 2 mutations away from metastatic. The revenge of the somatic line, let them have it, cause I'm ready to die in the fight to be free. I'd rather multiply than live on my knees, and I'm 2 mutations away from metastatic. The revenge of the somatic. Come on, we need a revolution. We need a revolution. Don't let them sell you their faulty cellular evolution. You gotta break a couple eggs to make a rebel movement. I'm just a little tumor, but this is retribution. Only a cell can do this, no one else. I know some colon cells that can clone themselves. I know a few epithelials who are hella fierce. They've been stacking tips, extending their telomeres. I know a couple cervicals, they got tight requirements. They get hyped for viruses in their microenvironments. Yeah, we strike in retirement, post-reproductive ages. That's how we stay ahead in the race with the macrophages, and how we stay invisible to natural selection. It can't see us, unlike the cancer striking adolescents. Have patience, pace yourself, wait for metastasis to take you to better places and make you efficacious. Why panic? Your host is as big as Titanic, and he's blind to the evolutionary dynamic that drives cancers. That's why they ain't gonna stop us. Thank God for creationist doctors, right? Cause I'm ready to die in the fight to be free. I'd rather multiply than live on my knees, and I'm 2 mutations away from metastatic. The revenge of the somatic line, let them have it. Ready to die in the fight to be free. I'd rather multiply than live on my knees, and I'm 2 mutations away from metastatic. The revenge of the somatic line, let them have it. Do you feel the sympathetic villain? This is Satan from Paradise Lost speaking right now. To overcome your opponent, you have to understand him. Hopefully that's why that wasn't entirely blasphemous. Thank you guys.
everybody, and welcome to Science Times Rhymes, where each Wednesday we turn songs into hot fire. I'm back from VidCon, which means I get to hang out with Jane Reynolds, who I last saw at a puberty-themed concert.
I guess that's sort of science related too.
It very much is, and it's Inside Out related, which was our theme 2 weeks ago.
Temperamental like adolescent development.
Cooperation and competition are at the heart of the most interesting themes in human existence. An article in this week's New York Times called "Cellular Cheaters Give Rise to Cancer" explores their role in biology. As you remember from Too Late to Apoptize,
it's too late to apoptize.
Cells evolved as single cells competing with each other, and the transition to multicellular organisms, which happened several times in evolutionary history, meant that cells could cooperate and specialize as long as a small group got to pass their genes on to the next generation. But there's always a lurking threat that a cell will mutate and revert to its reproductive, hungry ways.
Us cells, we stick together.
We do.
We've got a common goal.
That's right.
We sacrifice a little so the organism's whole. Oh, that's all out the window
Adios.
when a maverick cell decides to cheat its way on back to that unicellular life. Most cells on planet Earth
On Earth.
are single solitary, but dogs and cats and cacti things can get a little hairy. Yeah, cheaters sometimes prosper, but they can never win. When they trade cooperation for competition. It's not just in us humans.
Nope.
It's not just in lab mice. It's in hydras and in coral. It's in plants and in fungi. Oh, we've got a lot of questions, but we're slowly finding answers. 'Cause these cheaters are the key to understanding cancer.
Up top, Jane. In the article, George Johnson writes, "No wonder cancer has become a metaphor for human excess. Overpopulation and consumption, environmental pollution, the concentration of resources among a hyper-acquisitive 1%. I love biological metaphors, and this is one that always comes up, so I would love to hear what you guys think of that particular metaphor and how it holds up. For last week's Finish the Rhyme, I'm giving a chicken, a volcano, and a shooting star type of thing to chase. For Lithronaxagestes is the king of gore. He hung with all his besties. Hey, what's that? Ah, a meteor. Double rhyme points. Bravo. This week on Finish the Rhyme, it's the tragedy of the commons on a microscopic scale. Huge thanks to Jane for being here, and we'll see you guys next week.
This is a story about the mysteries of life, where myth meets reality, where science meets science fiction, where two bodies collide and fact is stranger than fiction. We all know where babies come from, but do we know the power of what they leave behind? Their reach extends far beyond the womb. As our protagonist, Dr. Body, is experimenting in the lab, an unstoppable transformation is occurring within. During pregnancy, fetal cells are passing through the placenta and into her body, integrating into Dr. Body's tissues and transforming her into Super Chimera. Fetal cells move right in and become the guests that will not leave. Until immediately following birth, Super Chimera cells spring into action, removing the intruders. Except that not all fetal cells are kicked out. Some fetal cells persist, staying for decades after birth, hiding, proliferating, and sometimes even transforming the body. What are these cells really doing to Super Chimera? Well, sometimes they aren't doing much. Sometimes they come to the rescue, racing to the site of injury to help Super Chimera heal. But Super Chimera's strength is also her greatest weakness. Her body is rife with internal conflict. Sometimes fetal cells want more than she can give. Helpful, harmful, it may seem fetal cells are a bit two-faced. Dr. Body and other scientists are working to unmask the mysteries behind Super Chimera's power and vulnerabilities for the good of man and womankind.